Oh, Shelly! Over here! Hey! Shelly!
Families, friends, students, Superintendent Bennett, members of the Board of Education, and my colleagues of Region 12. I'm honored to stand before you as we gather today to celebrate the class of 2019. Families and friends, welcome to this exciting day in the lives of our students. I consider myself blessed to share this experience with you each year, and I thank you for allowing me to be a part of this journey. Last week, I attended a graduation of a much different nature, my granddaughter's kindergarten graduation. I sat where you sit in much smaller chairs, and I marveled at how quickly the years go by. Milestones are met with melancholy for the times that have ended, and yet, fellow parents, I promise you this, the milestones that are yet to come are ever more exciting. As I begin my annual process of crafting my last and perhaps most important message to you, our graduates, I thought about your next 5 years. You see, I find you to be a most impressive group of young men and women. So that question became an exciting bit of speculation. What will you be doing in 5 years? I was fortunate to know exactly what I wanted to do with my career from a very young age. My mother used to say that I began to talk about wanting to be a teacher from the time I was 3 years old. And here I am, still enjoying my time at school with you. My grandparents were asked to leave school at a very young age in elementary school. They spent the rest of their lives reading. Oh, they were asked to leave to go to work. They didn't get kicked out or anything. Sorry, Grandma and Pop. They spent the rest of their lives reading, studying the world, and wishing they had more time to be in school. I'm sure that's why I love education as much as I do. And I wish for each of you a career that makes you happy, proud, and confident. And so, I ask that each of you consider 3 questions in the upcoming weeks and months and years. What makes me happy? What makes me proud? What makes me feel confident? I can answer from my perspective. My time with you has made me happy in many ways. I'm happy to be in a profession where I can marvel at your intellect, be amazed by your talent, and revel in your company. Your senior projects were inspiring, joyful, impressive. Knowing that I have a part in your education makes me happy. What makes you happy? Please consider that as you complete the next phase of your education. What makes me proud? I'm so proud about the way you are perceived by the public wherever we go. They see you as kind, well-spoken, and always polite. I agree. I am touched by so many of the wonderful things you do, but it's the simple things that never fail to make me proud. For example, the numerous times that you thank me for attending an activity or an event. Your appreciation makes me proud to lead this learning community. Ask yourselves, what makes you proud? How can you leverage that pride for future success? What makes me confident? I can confidently stand before you today and deliver this final lesson because I'm part of a profession that I love, because I'm where I belong, and my talents lie in the work I have chosen. Performing that work in a place that includes students like you has given me confidence and joy and pride. What makes you confident? How can you leverage that confidence for future success? Because of the intellect, talent, and compassion you have shown all of us, I say to you with deep affection and with boundless pride, there is a world of hope, and you are our hope. And we are more secure as we watch you grow. And so it goes, my dear students. You have impressed me, motivated me, and warmed my heart. To quote a favorite song, because I knew you, I have been changed for good. Today marks your first day as a Shepaug alumna. Wear that title with pride, as does Mrs. Britton, Mr. Conway, Mr. Larson, Mrs. Nicholas, Mrs. Pitt, Mr. Scarola, Mrs. Stewart, Mr. Werkoven. Thank you for the wonderful and caring learning community that you created at Shepaug. Please come back to Shepaug and tell us about your successes. Allow us to support you when your plans go awry. Wherever you may go, remember that the love and support of your families, your friends, and your school are with you every step of the way. Thank you, class of 2019, for allowing us all to bask in the warmth of your reflected glory. Go into the world with happiness, pride, and confidence. You've earned it. Please join me now in welcoming your salutatorian, Abby Gora, to the podium, where she will share her thoughts with her classmates.
Good morning, and thank you for coming to the graduation of the Shepaug class of 2019. I would like to start by thanking my teachers. Because of you, I have strived to be better and pushed myself beyond where I thought I could go. I would also like to thank my family for supporting me and continuing to pick me up when I fall. And finally, I thank all the students, and especially my friends, for working with me and challenging me, because we have all worked together to get where we are now. This is the day we've been waiting for since we walked through the Shepaug doors as freshmen. Now as our time here comes to an end, I can feel the melancholy in the air. We are not just leaving high school, but we are leaving our best friends, our favorite teachers, and Shepaug's loving atmosphere. The recognition and honor we achieved today is the result of all of our hard work, determination, and perseverance. Our sacrifices were worth it, whether it was not getting enough sleep or missing out on spending time with our friends. We should all be proud of our accomplishments. whether it was an all-state athletics title, a Halos trophy, or a top debate award. These are stellar achievements. With these titles come honor and responsibility. We were taught to be kind and genuine people. Shepaug teaches the value of good character, that who we are and what we stand for is important. We were encouraged to strive to reach our full potential on the stage, on the field, and in the classroom. But behind every top contender, there was the team, the cast, and the classmates. We got here together. The class of 2019 is a special class, one that has participated fully in all that Shepaug has to offer. If you look at our team's rosters or the show's playbills or went to our concerts, you would see a majority of participants were from our class. Spending so much time together in and out of school also made us great friends. You can ask Mr. Workoven what a challenge it could be to settle us down sometimes, because we always like to talk to each other. But we showed our support and our encouragement to push each other to new limits. Henry Ford once said, "Coming together is the beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. Together we made things happen." Many of us have been with each other since 6th grade or even kindergarten. We have created a family here, and it is hard to leave, but it is the strength of that family and the values we've learned at Shepaug that will carry us forward. Hopefully, we will be able to take those lessons on to our next chapter, whether it be in college, in the workplace, or in the military. We were fortunate enough to have been given the gift of a supportive community here at Shepaug that many other high schoolers do not have. The resulting confidence has given us a foundation for achievement, and I anticipate many great things in our future. I also have faith that the classes that follow Shepaug's class of 2019 will build on our success. Thank you, Shepaug.
Please join me in welcoming Mr. Michael Boucher to the stage, who will deliver the Academic Commitment Award.
Good morning. Starting with the class of 1996, Shepaug students have been recognized for their strong commitment to academic studies by demonstrating purpose, setting short and long-term goals, demonstrating perseverance, and producing quality work. It was decided that the Shepaug learning community would recognize the senior who earned the most academic commitment credits in his or her high school career at graduation. As stated in our core values, learning requires courage, and the winners of our Academic Commitment Award have demonstrated the courage to work diligently and with purpose throughout their high school careers. It is with great pride that I announce Ethan Hibbard and Caitlin Gilbo as our winners. Each earned 53 Academic Commitment Award credits.
Please welcome Samantha Steinis to the podium, who will announce the Community Service Award.
Community service is one of the most significant ways we promote giving back to the community and thereby teach and model our answering to call, a call to citizenship, learner outcome. Due to the importance that we place on this service, it was decided that the senior who contributes the most community service would be recognized at graduation. I am very pleased to announce that Kaylee McKay is our Community Service Award winner. Kaylee contributed 415 hours, mostly through her work with Shepaug Theater.
Wilson King has earned the distinction of Salutatorian of the class of 2019. Please join me in welcoming him to the podium, where he will share his thoughts with his classmates.
my fellow students, parents, teachers, administrators, and community members. In my free time over the past week, I thought quite a bit about how I wanted to start my graduation speech today. And I'm not sure what is more surprising, the fact that we are graduating or the fact that I had free time. I think the most apt choice may be arousing we did it. We made it through 13 snowy winters, 21 sports seasons, 11 theatrical productions, and our fair share of school renovations. That is an accomplishment warranting congratulations in and of itself. But today is also a day of reflection, a time for us to consider what Shepaug really means to us. Sure, SATs, ACTs, APs, GPAs, and an alphabet soup of other acronyms can tell us what Shepaug means to others. But today, I want to paint a window into the Shepaug experience, to give you all the inside scoop on what being a Spartan really means. Shepaug is so much more than a number or a name or a building. It is a place where Hannah Arendt is a casual beach read, and the Gettysburg Address echoes down the hallway, where existentialist ethical philosophy is debated in your average, everyday English class. It is a place where environmental fieldwork is regularly conducted on the shore of the pond, and class debates are always contentious and thought-provoking. For the meaning of Shepaug education, one need not look further than the students in front of you, the diverse group of individuals whose reigns of intellects collide at 7:55 every morning promptly at the first bell. In the SVS class of 2019, we are environmental scientists, entrepreneurs, poets, and rock and roll Hall of Famers, elementary educators, orthopedic surgeons, 3D animators, and auto mechanics. We research cancer and teach Zumba classes, write books, and host art shows, all in the spirit of our academics. We are a group of people who will never forget the lyrics to Get Triggy With It, or the color of Shakespeare's words. When we look back at our time here and ask that ever important question, what does a Shepaug education mean to me? This is the answer I would hope for. Shepaug to me is a community of thinkers and friends that incubates excellence and fosters intellectual eccentricity. A Shepaug education can never be simplified to a mere list of facts and figures. Rather, it is an experience steeped in immersive and skills-based approaches to problems. When we reminisce on our time here in the years to come, I guarantee the topic of conversation will never lean towards test scores or grades. It will undoubtedly encompass that which we have dreamed, achieved, discussed, and learned. With that in mind, it is also important to reflect upon the responsibilities we now owe that building just up the road. First and foremost, we owe a responsibility to those people that will continue to inspire long after we have left. The teachers, administrators, counselors, secretaries, custodians, and security personnel at Shepaug. I am proud to trace my roots to a school with a staff that exudes such kindness and passion in everything they do. Secondly, we owe a responsibility to our community and the increasingly diverse world we are about to become a part of. To every skeptic of the Instagram generation, we owe a responsibility to to demonstrate the positive change we have the capacity to make, all while showing the utmost respect for all people, regardless of background. And finally, we owe a responsibility to one another, to carry on this deep meaning of a Shepaug education to the workplace, to the college classrooms, and to our lives after 11 a.m. today. To my mom, dad, and brother, who is just now beginning his uphill climb, thank you for the last 13 years. I love you with all my heart. Congratulations, SVS class of 2019, and thank you.
Look how lucky I am. Each year, a member of our Board of Education proudly assists the superintendent at graduation. This year, Region 12 Board of Education is represented by Vice Chairperson Michelle Gora. Please welcome her.
I am honored to represent the Region 12 Board today. On behalf of the board, I would like the graduates and their families to know that we are very proud of you. You have worked hard and have earned your diplomas. We wish you all the best as you move on to the next phase of your lives, and we know that you will represent Shepaug well. Thank you.
Well, graduates, it is now time to introduce Superintendent Bennett, who will address you and confer diplomas. Superintendent Bennett, I hereby certify that the graduates before you have met the qualifications established by the Region 12 Board of Education and the state of Connecticut. With great pride, I present to you the class of 2019.
Well, good morning, graduates. Good morning to our distinguished staff, honored guest, our select woman, Barbara Henry. And I want to also thank Mark Lyon for allowing us to utilize this gorgeous space. What a backdrop to compliment our students here today. So look around. The towns have stopped to celebrate you today. Your families have planned around this date for months. Airplane tickets were booked, reservations were made, meals were planned, sunscreen was applied, all because you are graduating. So I started thinking about my graduation speech to give to you. How do you confer this and make this all official? When I was hired, and I have to tell you, that's a lot of pressure. I was nervous even signing your diplomas today because you're going to keep those for a really long time. And I especially realized I don't even remember my superintendent's speech. And completely honestly, I couldn't even tell you his name. So that's when I started to relax. Not a big deal. Really, the only way I could mess this up was to make a complete fool out of myself and trip off of the stairs. So I'm gonna give myself a little bit more time before I give that professional risk a try. So instead, I'm relaxed because it's not about the adults today. It is about you, graduates. It is about celebrating your life's work today. This year, I have spent like Jane Goodall. I'm that person who hangs out in the mall, you know, the creepy woman who sits on the couch. I was especially proud when somebody recognized they should change a conversation because I was sitting there, so that was when I knew I made it. But that said, I wanted to make certain I did not alter that delicate social balance in the midst. So today, we celebrate your steps into kindergarten. The tears that were shed, and some of those were yours, some of them were your parents. We celebrate you learning the alphabet and turning that into the understanding of Shakespeare's literary genius, learning from counting into calculus. As you look to either side of me, you will see the teachers that our graduates have talked about. Some of them that they've raved about, some of them that they complained about. More often than not, it's the same person I'm talking about. But the teachers are smiling today because you graduates are proof of a job well done. Today, the town is stopping to recognize your future is our future. Some may achieve the future by going to college, others serving the country, job force, others before taking a little time before committing to their actual adulting stage of life. But today, you all have a history in common. You are Shepaug. You are Shepaug graduates. So quickly, before I start handing out diplomas, I want to give you some talking points. Number one, if you say I graduated from Region 12, it makes it sound like a military base. I have my Google News alerts set to Burnham, Boothbury, Washington Primary, Shepaug, and Region 12. And nothing is scarier than when they say malaria outbreak in Region 12. Don't worry, not ours. We're all set. But as you travel beyond our boundaries, people are really going to ask you where you're from. And this is where our answers are going to vary. Bridgewater, Roxbury, Washington, Sherman, New Milford, and our list is growing. But there is a single connector here for us today, and our connection is Shepaug. Shepaug becomes a place that is bigger than boundaries. Shepaug is a place that you have spent 7 years of your life. So I'm going to say to you, barring my tripping off of this stage, you will not remember my speech, probably not remember my name. You will probably struggle hard to remember who taught you the distributive property of how to solve a quadratic equation, but you will never forget Shepaug. Let that memory of the building be full of comfort, familiarity, and love. So I wish you all failure that results in learning, sadness that makes you appreciate joy. I wish you all the success the world has to offer from the efforts that you put in, but please remember, Shepaug is home. We are proud of your accomplishments. Today, you are now the sons and daughters of Shepaug. Congratulations.
Justin John Wyant. Warren Robert Wolfert. Grace Margaret Wagenblas. Jack Robert Tredenik. Lane Rocco Tinsley. Zachary Thomas Tabats. Olivia May Tabats. Caitlin Jean Stumpf. Colin Costa Stewart. Ethan Jacob Southard. Bridget Ellen Snyder. Courtney Marie Sibbett. Jack Donald Schneider. Ellie Grace Schmoose. Aileen Grace Rosa. Andres Felipe Rico. Tucker Michael Redstone. Ellen Dahlia Polaro.
Good job.
Bailey K. Hody. Jack Gregory Pesci. Dominic Matthew Parachi. Allison Joanne Parker. Mallory Sage Noon. Timothy Patrick Murphy. Ashley Taylor Mohair. Richard Kyle Monahan. Tucker Austin Miller. Olivia Gina Meyer. Kaylee McKay. Erin Eileen McGrath. Michael Colin McCluskey. Anna Talmadge Maxwell. Amy Sue Lowe. Sidel Lovren Letcher. Hannah Marie Lasky. John Hagner Kennedy. Emma Jean Cassis. Joshua William Jordan. Ethan Chester Hibbard. Grace Catherine Hardy. Diego Gutierrez. Caitlin Nicole Gilboa. Jolie Susanna Grazia. Ian Grant Goldstein. Megan Rose Garfield. John Edwin Galligan. Emma Jolie Fischetti. Gabrielle Farrell. Chancellor Langdon Dutcher. Joseph Anthony D'Amelio. Lana Marie Del Vecchio. Emily Arden Demota. Tiernan Robert Crossley. Brianna Marie Chakowski. Emerson Craig Carranza. Joseph Aloysius Brunelli III. Gavin Lewis Block. Julia Rose Billings. Toma Joseph Bachelier. Tegan Elizabeth Anderson. Kayla Marie Amorosa. Elisa Grace Afuni. Jack Ryan Abbott. Abigail Leela Gora. Wilson Miller King. Sophia Eugenia Mansanone. Graduates, please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the class of 2019. Please welcome your class president, Sophia Mancinone, who will lead you in the traditional turning of the tassel. You may be seated. They did. Graduates, please be seated. At this time, I welcome to our podium our Associate Principal, Lori Ferreira.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Each year, Shepaug recognizes those seniors who have demonstrated excellence and distinction in Senior Project. As many of you know, Senior Project is a year-long course where students research a challenging topic and then develop and implement a plan to achieve a specific goal. Students who earn the award for excellence and distinction in Senior Project have demonstrated commitment, diligence, and passion toward their Senior Project, so much so that their good work has become a part of who each of these students will be in the future. I will read the names of the students and ask them to stand. I will ask them to remain standing until all the names are read. Audience, I would ask you to hold your applause until all students have been announced. This year, the 5 awards go to Michael Mikulski for Cooperstown Classic, Ethan Southard for The Amazing 21 Days, Kyle Monahan for The Comedy Crypt, Ellie Schmooze for Finding the Light in the Darkness, and Elisa Afuni for Pause for a Cause. Please welcome me and congratulate them. Thank you, graduates. You may be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce this year's faculty speaker. The faculty speaker is chosen by the senior class as a teacher who represents commitment towards and caring about students and their success. And I will add a teacher who represents commitment to the value of a well-rounded education, one that opens minds, expands hearts, and nurtures souls. This year, the students have selected a woman who I personally care a great deal about, our English Department Chair, Christine Chagru.
I wish I could see the seniors, because it's really for you. Okay, I have a title. How in 2017, I fell in love with the class of 2019. So I know love is a very strong word, because I've never cooked a meal for them. I'm kind of glad I've never driven in a car with them. I've never been to their homes or talked to them on the telephone, but I know them very, very well. And I did fall deeply in love with every single one of them. So I knew I could trust them to be good students because of their wonderful teachers. There's wonderful teachers at Shepaug, and the wonderful administrators and the Board of Ed who take education so seriously. We are truly a lucky community. But I loved this class from the start because of who they were. This was a class of kids so eager to learn, yet so humble, so reluctant to brag about what they knew or about who they were. I didn't know for months who could hit a ball, make a basket, play the piano, act in a play, read a poem. I really didn't know for months. I taught their brothers and sisters, many of them who are out there, And I found them to be outgoing, demonstrative, and they wanted me to know immediately who they were. This class, not so. So I consulted my trusted friend, Mark Peters. I said, Mark, why aren't they talking to me? He said, 'cause you're very scary. And I know I am, but I kept trying. And when I think about the rising ninth graders, that wildly entertaining bunch, they weren't scared of me a bit. So I knew I had to do something special in 2017 for the class of 2019. So I decided to personalize their education. What I did was I watched them as they were laser focused on me. I was laser focused on them. I watched them read. I watched them prepare for lessons. I watched them take notes. There were never cell phones. There were never computers blocking me. There were never distracting conversations or chit-chat. They wanted me to teach them. So I listened and I heard small conversations, things like, "Thank you, Mrs. Shagru," or "Wow, that was great," or my favorite, "Let me read you my favorite excerpt." Day after day, quiet but powerful reflections came my way. I told them about my class motto. It's from Dr. Seuss. "Today you are you, it's truer than true. There's no one alive who's youer than you." I know it's silly. I have all of Western literature in my background, but I picked Dr. Seuss because I wanted them to know that they were important to me and to our circle of learning. It worked. I invited them up to my favorite poster, the medieval hill of knowledge. They didn't want to get out of their seats. I said, come on up. We're going to look at how math teaches us about the patterns of the universe. We're going to look at the curiosity of science. We're going to look at the beauty in art and music. We're going to talk about physical education and the challenge and the competition that comes with that. And I'm going to tell you that whatever your interest is, whatever your learning style is, it is valued in this circle of learning. I think it worked. They kind of believed me. We walked metaphorically up that hill of knowledge all year long. And then we were ready for the lessons of Sophocles, Dickens, Shakespeare. And each of them chose their own wonder and worry to study as a lens through our literature. It really worked. Their writing was personal and passionate, and every single one of them produced beautiful commentary on the literature we studied. Every paper you wrote, every discussion we had, moved from that personal wonder and worry, and your evidence was always keenly addressed. Now, I loved getting to know your Eunice. And a little secret here is that sometimes when you left the room, I really did cry because I saw it working. So I noticed a big change in you in senior year. You're much more confident. There's certainly a swagger in your step. I'm happy to see it. And I'm happy that you shared your musings and your thoughts with me. And thank you for thanking me all week for giving this speech. You know I was nervous, and I really appreciated your gratitude. So in this moment, when you're about to leave who we are, I want to say this. Maybe you should grow a little bit more in that sense of confidence. Maybe even be a little bit arrogant because of where you've come from and because of how far you've come. I really like a little bit of arrogance. You want to know why? Because the arrogant person who believes they can make a difference steps forward to make a difference. And you have everything you need to do that. There are people you will meet who are overwhelmed by their worries. Your job is to help them through that. So, I will hope you will always remember Shepaug as a place filled with the kind of teacher love that I felt for you. I trust that you will do your best in the new circles that you will be attending. You'll bring to those circles all that we've started here. And I hope that in your pursuits, your worries are few, and you can always find the wonder. Congratulations, I'll miss you.
Because today is a celebration of our senior class, it is fitting that Class President Sophie Mancinone deliver the closing reflections. After her address, she will lead her classmates in the recessional. Please join me in welcoming her as she shares her final reflections as class president.
I don't know about any of you, but I'm sweating, so I'm gonna try and make it quick. Good morning, everyone. It's exciting to be here today. Almost as exciting as it was 4 years ago when we were first allowed to roam the high school hallways. They were always just steps away, but they were still a rite of passage, much like today is a rite of passage that we've been anxiously awaiting. 4 years ago, we were merely children, but today we stand here as adults, capable of so many great things. I've had the pleasure of getting to know each and every person in this class. And as our Salutatorian Abby Gora said earlier, the class of 2019 is truly something special. There is such a range of talent. We've got all-state athletes, top debaters, accomplished musicians, published authors, and lots more. Our class is diverse in talent, and yet we've come together these last 4 years to work towards common goals. I'm inspired by the strength, perseverance, and dedication that our class has shown. It's not something you see every day. Soon, we'll go our separate ways, but we surely won't forget the friendships we formed here at Shepaug. I am so proud of our class. Beside me sit future lawyers, doctors, artists, teachers, musicians, and so much more. The soon-to-be Shepaug graduates sitting beside me have endless potential. Starting tomorrow, we'll begin the journey down our own paths, each different, but linked together by our time at Shepaug. Together, we've endured a lot. I know each of us has struggled before, and I know that a big part of the reason we stand here today is because of how we overcame those struggles. Failure is nothing to be ashamed of. Let's face it, we've all done it. What is to be ashamed of, though, is when we fail to try again, when we become content with mediocrity. I think it's fair to say that none of us would consider Thomas Edison a failure, but here's a fun fact. It actually took Edison over 1,000 prototypes to finally make the light bulb work. I mean, I rewrote this speech like 8 or 9 different times, and I thought that was a lot. But when asked about it, Edison wasn't embarrassed by this. He merely replied that the light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps. Our shortcomings can actually be building blocks for our successes. Every time we stumble, we have the opportunity to do better and to be better. I think we could all stand to be a little more like Edison. Maybe not as obsessed with the light bulb, but with regards to perseverance. Seriously though, imagine if we each spent the rest of our lives trying to be our best selves. Imagine if we each lived up to our full potential. Think about how much good we could do in this world. Let us choose to go forward in life with a goal to succeed, not because it's an easy thing to do, but because our goal should be to become the best versions of ourselves and to make the most of our energies and skills. My challenge to all of you today, and to myself, is to spend the rest of our lives trying to reach our full potential, whatever that means to you. And of course, let's not forget how we got here. The people who always had our backs, the community that fostered our growth, and lastly, the shortcomings upon which we built our successes. We each have the potential to be great, so let's all agree not to settle for anything less. Thank you.
Teachers, I ask that you rise and begin to form the gauntlet. Our teachers are forming a gauntlet along the path. Our graduates will walk through the gauntlet, and they're going to walk back behind this stage to throw their hats in the air and to celebrate. So hold on, we're almost done.
No, let's stop here and see if there's one.
Graduates, please rise.